Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes todos. Bienvenido a mi canal. Tengo otro video para para ustedes. Mi español es simplemente genial, increíble. Quiero hablar, I want to talk about Camavinga today. He is shit. Cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you on the next one. Ah, look at that. I got you. Okay, he's not shit, but I'm disappointed in Camavinga, and that's why I wanted to make this video today. I think he's been disappointing for more than a year now. Recently, he actually had a good game against Athletic Club. He scored a goal, and even more than ever, I wanted to make this video because I don't believe in being reactionary. So I think if you've got an opinion of a player, you shouldn't change your opinion because he has one bad game or one good game. I think Camavinga's been poor for a while now, and even though he had a good game recently, that makes me want to make this video even more. So yeah, that's the point of the video today. I believe Camavinga was around 18, 19 when he joined us, and he hit the ground running. I'm pretty sure he scored on his debut, and I thought, wow, this kid looks talented. The way he moves, the way he tackles, I thought he could be, the future of our midfield for the next 10, 15 years. But I think in the last year, he's really started to not just stop developing, sorry. I also think he's kind of regressed a bit. I don't think he's the same player that he used to be. So, yeah, that's the topic of today's video. So let's get into it. Now, there's no doubt when you watch Camavinga, there's a talent there. He is one of the best slide tacklers and even standing tacklers that I've seen, period, at Real Madrid. His ability to stretch his legs and win a sliding tackle, or when a player's running past him and he's able to stick his foot out and not only tackle but also keep possession, and it's really impressive. And I'm going to show you his defensive stats in a minute, which will back this up. He's a great talent at tackling. He really is. He's also got a nice left foot on him. I love the way he traps the ball. He does something Marcelo does quite often, where he'll when he's in a tight space, he'll, rather than actually dribbling with the ball kind of at the inside of his foot, he actually puts his foot on the ball and he drags it around, which is really a very impressive way of evading tight spaces and beating the press. But my problems with Camavinga are more going forward, really, than anything. But first, let me show you his defensive stats. And as you can see, they're pretty impressive. Now, being in the top 99 percentile for tackles here does basically prove my point. He's a great tackler of the ball. He's also 93% in terms of blocks. He's not the biggest guy in the way. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but 75% in aerial duels is also pretty impressive. The problem I have with Camavinga is if he's going to be our defensive midfielder, I can accept it. But that's not really the position he plays, and we have Tchouaméni for that, who is better at Camavinga, I personally, I think, in terms of his defensive ability. What we need more from Camavinga is going forward, and his passing completion is great. It's 92%, because he doesn't take any risks. He's got very poor progressive passes. He doesn't create much. He doesn't score goals. He doesn't get assists, and he plays it so simple sometimes, and that's probably the main part of the frustration I have with Camavinga. Is I do think there is a player in there. He just doesn't express himself enough. And if we're going to be playing him as our CDM, okay, no problem. But if he's playing alongside Tchouaméni, we need more from him going forward. Now, it's important to point out, of course, Camavinga has been decimated with injuries over the past few seasons. I'm going to show you his injury record here, and it's pretty extensive. Thigh injuries, knee injuries, groin injuries, ankle injuries, hamstring injuries. I particularly want to show you this date here, though, which is the 23rd of the 6th. He got an injury in his ankle towards the end of last season. And that's quite important because if you have a look after that, that's obviously in June. He then gets an injury in August. He then gets an injury in November. He then gets an injury in January, March. It's every 2 months he's getting an injury. Obviously, he's not able to get any sort of consistency with this. So I'm very aware that we probably need a good 6 months of him injury-free before we can really say, he's back or he's actually regressed. Obviously, now he's also injured again a little bit. It looks like he's going to be available for Celta tomorrow, but he did pick up a little bit of an injury again from in Athletic Club. Sometimes it might not be a player's fault necessarily that he can't perform to his level, but if he can't stay fit, he's 23, he should not be getting this amount of injuries. This is a huge problem for Camavinga. Now, I think part of the problem for Camavinga is where are we going to play him? Because as a left back, I thought he was fantastic under Carlo Ancelotti, by the way. I actually wouldn't mind seeing him play more as a left back. As a defensive midfielder, an understudy to Tchouaméni, he would be a fantastic squad player to have for sure. But when Camavinga joined, he was going to be one of the mainstays of our midfield. Sorry, so to now just become a part-time squad player, that would be a real regression for me. And this is the key, really, because this is probably an unfair statistic for him, but it's true. He has in nearly 200 games at Real Madrid 6 goals. I believe 4 in the league and 2 in the Champions League. I think he has about 10 assists as well. Obviously, not completely fair because, as I said, he played as left back, he's played as a centre defensive midfielder. But if he's going to be playing as a centre mid, a CM, and I think that's where he sees himself, especially if he's going to be playing alongside Tchouaméni, we need more goals from him. We need more assists. We need more risks taken from him. And I think I'm still a bit uncertain about where his best position is because every time he plays as, let's say, in the Toni Kroos role on the left side of a defensive midfielder, I just think he's not good enough. I really don't think he produces enough offensively for that role. Now, of course, he's still only 23 years of age. He could completely turn it around in the next few seasons. Obviously, he needs to have a good chunk of time without any injuries. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But I'm just worried about Camavinga. I really am because when he came in, especially when we had Toni Kroos, when we had Modric, when we had a bit more creative players in the midfield, he was perfect because he could do something that the other guys couldn't do. Defensively, Casemiro was great, but he didn't really have the legs. Camavinga had energy. He could run around the pitch. But now when he's playing alongside Valverde and Bellingham and Tchouaméni, all players with a lot of energy and physicality, we need a little bit different from him. We need something a bit more, creative and a bit more inspirational from him. And I just find his play too, I don't know, I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, watch Camavinga. He plays the ball backwards so often. And when he tries to hit long passes, I'm kind of like 50-50 whether they're going to come off. I don't think his passing has really progressed that much as well, by the way, over the last few seasons. Yeah, I mean, this is not I'm not trying to attack Camavinga necessarily in this video. I want more from him. I think he's a great player. I think there's a great player in there, but we're not seeing the best from him. And I worry about him because at the moment, at his level, I think that part of the reason we're struggling is our midfield is not as good as it was a few seasons ago. And who's playing in the midfield? Valverde's playing in the midfield. I could make another video on how I think Valverde's been underperforming for the last year, but this video is about Camavinga. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We play Celta tomorrow, so we need to get the 3 points. Arsenal lost today, so that's cheered me up a little bit. Enjoy the UFC and have a great weekend.